How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be recapping my experience at the Airliners International 2025 convention. Airliners International 2025 was held at the Delta Flight Museum in Atlanta, Georgia, which is around 7 minutes from Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. The hotels for this year's convention was the Renaissance Concourse Atlanta Airport Hotel and the Kimpton Overland Hotel. I arrived in on Tuesday afternoon on American Airlines A319 from Philadelphia, and I didn't really do too much that day besides checking into the Renaissance as well as getting checked into the Renaissance Hotel. Wednesday was a slow start for me. As I was walking out of the Renaissance to go visit relatives, I stopped by the registration table to receive my badge. After that, I went out to go see my relative that I haven't seen in 3 years. After meeting up with her, we stopped by the thrift store as well as the Chick-fil-A dwarf houses. It was really unique that all Chick-fil-A restaurants are nicknamed Dwarf House, which is something I never imagined, which was something I never heard about. And then it was off to the plane spotting meetup at the South Parking Garage at ATL. The spotting meetup started off good as we saw a lot of Delta jets. However, by around 6 o'clock, it started to rain and we all had to take shelter. But thankfully the rain didn't last for very long and we resumed our plane spotting session. The best part about Wednesday night's spotting meetup was the 100 years livery on Delta's A350 as it was coming in from Seoul, South Korea. Here are some highlight clips of this aircraft's arrival.
That one. 100 years, A350. There it is, 100 years. Oh yes, there it is.
And the anticipation of its arrival shows us how excited we are to see the 100 years livery of Delta's A350. Thursday marked the first day of the collectible show. As mentioned earlier, the convention was held at the Delta Flight Museum, which was recently renovated in honor of the 100th anniversary of Delta Airlines. There was a lot of excitement leading up to the ballroom opening, so here's again some highlight clips leading up to the opening.
Oh, it went backwards all of a sudden. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris leading the way.
Welcome to the Delta Flight Museum, site of Airliners International 2025. Currently looking around, and one model that caught my eye is the American MD-80. Look at the museum, it's absolutely amazing. And here's the Delta 767-200, really in the ballroom. And here's the engine here. It's awesome. Having a great time. You won't believe what I bought.
Philippine Airlines,
Yeah.
A350. Oh, you want?
Yeah.
Have you been wanting that for your collection?
Yeah, I've never had a Philippine Airlines aircraft before. I've been
That's
wanting
nice.
that.
As a Filipino myself, I'm glad you have that for your collection.
Yeah.
Look at that model.
Yeah, I bought it from the West Coast Skycast.
Yeah, nice. So you're gonna
use that model for those Manila flights.
Yeah.
That's awesome, buddy. Look at that display of Deltas. There's an empty it is.
I'll sleep.
At 1:30 p.m., I attended my first seminar with John Pullen, which is called Boarding Group Z, How Gen Z and Millennials Are Changing Flying. It was really interesting to see how Gen Z has influenced the airline industry and how airlines are accommodating Gen Z. After that, I, along with Outer Rim Aviation and Gabriel Cram Aviator, went outside to explore Delta's retired Boeing 747-400. It was really awesome that the museum has a large 747 parked outside. Once inside the aircraft, we walked around each cabin, in addition to the hall upstairs, which was exclusively all business class seats. On top of that, you get to learn a lot of history of the Boeing 747 and its special use, in addition to its history with Delta Airlines. This particular aircraft was originally delivered to Northwest Airlines, and was then transferred to Delta in 2008 following the Northwest Delta merger. At 6 p.m. I attended the welcome party reception. Just like last year, it was hosted at the host hotel mainly as a get-together. The attendees went to the lobby of the Renaissance, where they got to enjoy pork sliders, potato chips, beverages, and live music. I was able to spot 2 Delta A350 liveries, including Team USA and LA-28. But perhaps the highlight was seeing the Team USA livery getting towed near the Renaissance. After the welcome party ended, I, along with a group of aviation enthusiasts, went downstairs to the lower level of the Renaissance to do the Slimmerville Airport update, hosted by Connor or CM Aviation. It was really cool to get to do this update, as well as showcase our aircraft models that we bought during the convention. On Friday, I attended the Atlanta Air Exchange Boneyard Tour at 8:30 a.m. It was a 40 to 50 minute ride depending on traffic. There were some restrictions in place where we were not permitted to take photos or videotape any certain forbidden aircraft. Full video showcasing the tour will be coming out soon. After returning to the museum at 12 p.m., I attended Connor's seminar where he explains his history about collecting 750 plus Gemini jets on YouTube for the past 15 years. It was really awesome for him to have his very own seminar during Airliners International. Plus, it was held inside the Spirit of Delta Boeing 767-200. Shout out to Connor for his amazing presentation. I paid a visit to the merch store, and there was way more Delta merch compared to last time that I visited the museum in 2022. Then at 2:30 p.m., I attended Joel Crawford's seminar about spending airline miles and how to use them. By the way, this seminar, along with all the other seminars at Airliners, will be posted on the World Airline Historical Society's YouTube channel. The rest of the Friday evening was taken easy. I went down to the South Lake Mall to explore around and get some dinner, and then took an Uber back to the Renaissance, where it was by far the most intense ride I've ever had. This was my first time experiencing hailstones during a thunderstorm. The airport was on a ground stop for literally the entire evening, as large hail, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, and torrential rain, in addition to a flash flood warning in effect till 11:30 p.m. that night. Then we move on to day 3, which is the last day of the convention. I arrived at the museum at approximately 11:45 a.m. For the next 15 minutes, I explored around the ballroom, because at 12 p.m. I have a tour at the Delta Airlines Douglas DC-3. Unlike the other tours at the convention, this tour was held inside the museum, meaning we didn't have to step outside and wait for a bus to take us down to a specific location. We also got to wear gloves and other protective gear for our shoes, which according to the tour guide protects the integrity of the aircraft. But still, it was really awesome to get to explore DC-3, which has been active during the 20th century. A full tour video on this specific tour will also be coming out very soon. Because it is the last day of the convention, it is discount day for most items. I didn't really buy too much, besides 2 additional model planes from the Final Approach collectibles, as well as a t-shirt from Jet Set Shirts. After spending 2 hours inside the museum, I briefly headed back to the Renaissance, where I took an Uber down to visit my relatives one last time. From there, we went to the original Chick-fil-A restaurants. The very first one has unfortunately closed down in May of 2023, but regardless, it was still awesome to get to visit one of the original Chick-fil-A restaurants. Then it was off to Twilight Studios, which was originally a joint venture between the Pinewood Group of the UK and the Cathay family, which were the founders of Chick-fil-A. This town gained prominence for its work on numerous Marvel films and other high-profile productions. My last activity of the convention was the Saturday night banquet. It was my first time attending a banquet during Airliners. There were some trivia, raffles, meals, and a special presentation. For the meals, my personal favorite has to be the roasted chicken. There were also other entrees besides roasted chicken, including pasta, salad, salmon, vegetables, and more, in addition to dessert, which was banana pudding. I only did the name the plane, airport, and airline trivia. If I remember correctly, I think I might have gotten 6 to 7 answers correct. This year's banquet speaker is David H. Stringer. His presentation was about the history of Southern Airways. Big shout out to David H. Stringer for his amazing presentation on Southern Airways. There was also some Southern Airways employees who were present at this banquet. Sunday marked the official last day of the trip. I started off the morning by packing up and checking out of the Renaissance. And here I am at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, about to check in with Delta Airlines for my flight back to Philadelphia. Now, even though the convention is officially over, I can happily say that this was the best event I've ever attended. The amount of attendees this year was absolutely outstanding, and it always gets better every year, especially for the younger generation. This convention has been promoted all over social media by other young app geeks, attracting even more young app geeks. If this continues, we will see more young people attend future Airliners International conventions. And speaking of future conventions, Airliners International 2026 will be held in Denver, Colorado, June 24th to 27th of 2026. The only details we have as of right now is the details for the hotel, which is the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel. The hotel is located approximately 20 to 25 miles west of Denver International Airport and 20 to 30 minutes depending on traffic. But there will be more details coming within the next few months, so make sure to sign up for the email so you don't miss the latest updates. And also check out their website at airlinersinternational.org. Big shout out goes out to Chris Slimmer, Bill Debris, Layla, and the entire staff at the World Airline Historical Society. They work around the clock just to make sure this event will be a one to remember. Without them, we wouldn't even be here. Also, shout out to everybody I met during this convention. It was really awesome to reunite with the same faces I met last year, as well as meeting new people. I'll make sure to list all of their names and social media links down below. Also, be sure to check out JJ Aviation's Airliners International 2025 Community Content Playlist. On that playlist, you'll see different perspectives of many content creators during this year's convention. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've officially reached the end of my recap video on my experience at the Airliners International 2025 convention in Atlanta, Georgia. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos from this convention down the road. But until I see you next time, have an amazing day and thank you for watching.